everyone. So today I wanted to do a video where I've been asked about this quite often, and I thought I'd do a video about it in case someone out there needs it and will feel that it will help them in some way, because whoever I speak to about it, they seem to appreciate the fact that I'm open about it and tell them, you know, how I deal with it. And I just thought that it would be a good thing to put it on video, so that if someone asks me again, I can just tell them to watch the video, because I have to repeat the story quite often. And for anyone that's gone through having the loss of a child, you'll know that it's not a very nice thing to have to say the same story over and over and over again. So this is the video that I will be putting out there. It's very personal for me, so I hope that you enjoy it, and that it will help you. Shall I say, not really enjoy it, but I hope that it will help you in some way. If you go through anything similar, then you can also know that you're not alone, and also how you deal with it doesn't make you weird, or that there's something wrong with you. So what happened was, my youngest daughter, her name was Alexis, and she was 3 when she developed a blood disease which is called aplastic anemia, and it's where your bone marrow doesn't produce platelets, and platelets is what makes your blood store, like what makes you scab. Basically, it stops you from bleeding. And so if she had to hurt herself in any way, she could bleed to death, basically. So even internal bleeding or any type of bleeding, she could just bleed to death. She would never stop bleeding. So she had to go for blood transfusions and platelet transfusions on a weekly basis. Sometimes we stayed in hospital. I stayed in hospital with her for a month, and then my ex-husband would, when we were still married at that point, he would come and relieve me on weekends so that I could spend time with my older daughter, Storm, which you guys have seen in the videos before. And but Storm was still small, obviously, at that point. I don't think she quite understood everything, but one of the things, it was a very difficult time for all of us, and we actually didn't ever think that she would pass away. We thought that she was going to be healed and that everything was going to be fine, because so many things happened. Like we were told that they're looking for a bone marrow, someone that matches her with her bone marrow in the country, and they didn't find someone in the country that matches her. And then what they did was they told us they're going to need to go overseas, but we mustn't hold our breaths, because the medical aid very rarely approves that, because it was something like 250,000 Rand to do that search. And then the medical aid came back and they said that they've approved it. So they did it. They said, okay, they're going to go and search worldwide, but then they said, we must still not hold our breath, because maybe no one will match her. And then they came back to us and they said, you won't believe, but one person in the world matched her, and he was in Canada. And she was about 3 weeks away from her bone marrow transplant when we went away for a weekend, because we were living in the Cape at Bredasdorp, and we went away for the weekend to my sister-in-law in Vredendal, and we just left their house. And we were rushing because there was something wrong with her. She was, we didn't know that her body was giving out, but her stomach was working. So we didn't know that that's the body's way of saying goodbye, you know. And we were rushing her to some hospital. We were trying to get her to the hospital, but we didn't know like how to get, because we didn't have GPS. And we were in the middle of nowhere. It was quite daunting. And we rushed out there, but by the time we got off the gravel road and onto the road, she was already dead in my arms. And Storm was sitting in the front seat, and I was sitting in the back with Alexis, and my ex-husband pulled off and he tried to give her CPR on the bonnet, which was in front of Storm. So I think that was a bit difficult for her, you know, in the years to actually process that. And also I didn't handle it very well. I was lying basically in the road trying to beg her to come back to me. It was not very pleasant. And I must say though, the Lord was with us when this happened, because we tried to phone a helicopter to come and pick up her and I up so that we could get to hospital. So we phoned the paramedics, but we couldn't explain to them where we were. So eventually I put the phone down because I was hyperventilating, because I was telling him that she doesn't look like she's breathing. And then we stopped, and the first person that stopped was a funeral home guy. The next person that stopped seconds after him was an actual doctor. Then just after him, a fire brigade, little like fire brigade stopped. Those little like a bucky. And then just after them, and I mean this was within seconds. And then just after that, a ambulance stopped. Now my sister-in-law said that this road was usually not very busy, so it was actually amazing that all of them happened to stop there at that time, because we didn't know what to do. I was like lost at that point. The world was dead to me, you know. So yeah, it just amazed me that afterwards, when I could actually think straight, that all these people stopped and we didn't phone them, they didn't phone each other, they all just stopped there one after the other like that, which was pretty amazing. So that is the story. She passed away. They said they don't know really. I think it was a virus that was hiding away in her body, and that's what got her in the end. She fought this for 2 years. She was 5 when she passed away. She was 3 when she got it. So she fought it for 2 years, and she was a brave little child. Such a sunshine child. I know that I've done like a blog post about her before as well. Everyone loved her, everybody knew her. She was an extreme extrovert. She would just start talking to anybody wherever they were. It didn't matter where we were. She just loved people. She loved people, and one of her prayers is, because she wasn't allowed to go to school at all, because of if she hurt herself she could die, you know. So I had to homeschool her at that point as well. And yeah, she could write her name before she passed away, which I was quite proud of. But she, one of her greatest wishes was to have friends. And every night she would pray and she would ask God that she just wants to have friends. So now she probably has many there in heaven. So people have asked me how I deal with it on her birthday. Her birthday is the 7th of May, 2004 she was born. And she passed away on the 6th of September 2009. So it's been quite a while. Still hits me every now and again, because I did the wrong thing, and people said to me, you need to be strong for your other daughter and your husband, and you need to be there for them. So what I did was, I did what I always did through my life to protect myself from all the different pains that I'd gone through in my life, and I built walls around the pain. Now the problem is that if you don't deal with it then and there, and you only deal with it years later, it's worse for you. So what I did was, I made sure I haven't scattered her ashes. I wanted to keep it until I knew for sure that I had dealt with it properly, so that I don't scatter it and then I feel bad because I haven't done it, because I don't have it anymore and I haven't dealt with it properly. So I still have her ashes. It's in my cupboard, in that little casket thing. I don't want to show that because that's a little bit morbid, but yeah, I've still got that. And I think if you are out there and you're going through the same thing, yes, you can be strong for your other children and your husband, but you also need to deal with it. You are also the person going through this. So don't block it away. Don't put it away. You need to deal with it. You need to let your family see you cry. You need to deal with it, because if you block it away and you only deal with it at a later stage, it's going to be a lot worse, and it could end up ripping your family to pieces, and you don't want that to happen. So rather deal with it now. They all, and I'm pretty sure they will all understand. I mean, it's your child as well, or your family member as well. So anyway, that is the story of Alexis and her illness. It's not the story of Alexis, just her illness. Her story is a lot happier. She was a very happy little child. So that's what I try and remember. I keep videos of her dancing and singing, because she used to love singing. Something she used to sing from when she was 3. She used to sing, Jesus is in my heart and my heart is a flower. And she used to walk around our yard, swinging her dress around, looking up at the sky and busy singing this. And she used to do that until she would pass away, same wording, and then she would just add other wording in, but that was like the gist of the song. So we put that on her little stone that they had by the tree that they planted for her. And then also with, she used to say that, so also I made crosses for, because my stepdad, he was very generous. He helped us to move her body from Vredendal to Bredasdorp, which costed 8,000 Rand at that point, just to move the body. And he didn't want us to put her body in our cars because he said that would be extremely traumatic, which it would have been. So I'm very grateful for that. And then also he paid for her funeral, because we didn't have any type of funeral cover at that point, because you don't expect your child to pass away. So yes, we didn't have a funeral cover, and he paid for all of that. So as a thank you, we made him a cross. We call it the Alexis cross. So it's a cross where it's the cross to say Jesus is in my heart. We put our hearts in the middle, and my heart is a flower. So we put a flower in the middle of that, and then we mosaicked it. So we've made a few of them already. For like, we made one for him. My ex has one, and now I also have one. So that is just how we remember her in the house, besides photos and stuff. And then the other thing is, like, when it's her birthday and when it's a time that she passed away, and I just want to remember her, because in everyday life I try not go there, because I have, like I said, I built walls around it, and I'm scared I bring them down during my everyday life, when I can't afford to bring them down because I'm so busy doing other things and just trying to survive every day. So what I do is I only really look at it when it's her birthday or the day that she passed away, which I call her early graduation to heaven. And I take out her boxes. Now what I did was I kept boxes. Some people were like, no, you mustn't do that, because you know it's not good to keep these things, but for me this has helped a lot, because I didn't want to feel like I had completely lost her. So these boxes are what gets me through missing her, or not having her young. So like I say, don't let people tell you what you should or shouldn't do. If you want to do something because your child passed away or someone's passed away, then you do it because you need to deal with that pain, not them. Don't listen to people. Obviously, if you're spiraling out of control into depression, then yes, you should listen to people and you should let them help you, because obviously then you're not able to deal with it on your own effectively and healthily, like in a healthy manner. But otherwise, if you are just at that point where you need to deal with it, and you need to have a tradition that you do every year, then do that. Because I wanted to do a tradition, people stopped me, and now I'm actually not very happy. It's one of the things I regret, is that I don't have a tradition for her birthday every year. And let me show you what the boxes look like. So first of all, I've got this little one. It says, it's just a shoebox that I covered, and on it it says Alexis's Memory. And in it I've got, so it's a DVD that the pastor made of her memorial. So that's in here. And then I have a little envelope that's got her hair in it. And it's the last little bit of hair that was stuck to one of my buttons when he pulled it out, and her hair came out and stuck on my buttons. And I kept that. And then I've just got little, like these little letters from little friends that Storm had in the church, and that just to say that they're really sorry, And then I kept also little things of Alexis that she drew. A handprint. She used to actually like doing her hands. You'll see now. Like there. And she also used to like playing with the stamp roller. And then I've got a whole lot of these. I just can't get myself to throw them away because I've got her photo on it. But this is her funeral, what do they call it? Little funeral booklet thing. So it just says, is Alexis Osa-Belia Jewellery, born the 7th of May 2004, passed away the 6th of September 2009. And then the tribute to her, I wrote for her. So I said, our precious Alexis, for a short 5.5 years, we had the honor of being your parents. Always bubbling with enthusiasm, smiling with beautiful bright red lips, the smile always twinkling in her blue eyes and wild happy eyebrows. Never greedy with her hugs and kisses, always showing love. Eager to talk to everyone and sharing her unique personality. Our special little gift from God. My baby, we are heartbroken and crushed that you were taken away from us so soon. But now you can finally be free to be the joyful, alive little person that you were created to be. We miss you now and forevermore, more than words can say. We love you lots and lots like jelly tots, our baby girl. Daddy, Mommy and Storm will never ever forget the love you brought to our lives. And that's it. And then we sang Amazing Grace and Jesus Loves Me, which is 2 songs that I always used to sing to both of them when they were small. So much so that at the moment I still struggle. Like Amazing Grace is okay now, but like Jesus Loves Me is one I still struggle to sing. There's a few songs I still struggle to sing because of that. And then this is her little hand in a clay thing. I've also got Alexis Memory Box here. And just things that I kept that she really loved playing with, you know. Her little Tamagotchi, like a little bag that she made herself. These were her sunglasses that you can see a lot of the photos that she wears had these sunglasses in there, so tiny shame. And her library cards. This little Easter egg that she painted. This was a Alice band that she wore all the time. And then just, yeah, like I say, little things that she used to, her toothbrush, the last toothbrush. And little books like where she'd written in, and things that she always wore and played with. Even this is quite dirty, you can see I left it as is. This she also loved playing with. And then I used to read this to them. And then this was her Hickman line. So a Hickman line is a line that they put it in through her neck, yeah, and then it comes out goes through a heart valve, comes out the front, yeah. And then that's where they used to take blood and give her blood so that they didn't have to keep pricking her the whole time. And then what happened was we moved to the Cape, but just before we moved to the Cape, she actually started getting better. And they thought that she was going to be completely healed. They took the Hickman line out, and then we moved to the Cape, and not long after that she started getting ill again. But then they never put the Hickman line back in again. They just used to prick her the whole time, which was not the best thing, because she used to not like that very much. She used to cry in a way that would break your heart, because she used to almost beg you not to let them do it to her. And I know for any parent you'd know that that is not pleasant. So that's the first box. So the other box is bigger. It's in a plastic holder like this. This one has like teddy bears that she really loved. Also something that she painted, and some of her clothes, including the one that she had that had blood on it, which I haven't washed off. And then something that a friend of mine made for her, Tammy, she made it for her once. I thought it was so cute because it's all the Care Bears, and she painted them on. And that was something that Alexis really loved, playing with her dolls and stuff. Okay, so this was one of her teddy bears that she got from Reach for a Dream. That's where they make, it's from that Build-A-Bear workshop. So the Reach for a Dream people made a whole lot of teddy bears, and they gave it out at the Red Cross Children's Hospital in Cape Town. And this was her little teddy bear. She absolutely loved it, but it's still new because she only had it for a little while before she passed away. And then this one also came from the Mediclinic in Hermanus, and they gave it to her as well. Also still quite new. This is something she painted herself. The eyes are a little bit scary, but otherwise, she did quite a good job for her age, I'd say. These were her ultimate favorite shoes. As you can see, they look a little bit worse for wear with the little heels. Such tiny little feet, oh shame. So that was her favorite shoes. She was wearing this the day before she passed away. She actually fell and hurt herself, and she was bleeding. I did ask the doctor if that is why she passed away, but he said no, it had nothing to do with blood or her bleeding or anything. It was actually a virus. But you can see she's quite a tall little girl, but very thin. So she was wearing this. You can see it's got marks on it. And she was wearing this, which you can see it's got her blood on it. She was quite like, I could quite imagine her being an actress one day. She was just like, she had that personality. She was so out there. And then this was her little gown, which also has lots of marks and stuff and dirt, and because she was one of those children, like Alexis. Storm was the careful child, but that's because we always like, she was always looking out for her sister to try and make sure that she was okay, and she knew that she can't get hurt in that. So it actually made Storm a little bit, you could say like neurotic. I actually feel bad that she was like that. She would be terrified of everything because she didn't want her sister to get hurt. And because of that, one day Alexis, Storm came screaming into the house. I mean, my heart almost stopped, and she said to me, "Alexis is on the roof." I was like, no, she can't be. And sure enough, she was on the roof. So that's the type of child she was, and I was like, she really pushed the boundaries when it came to what she could and couldn't do. Yes, as you can see, she was quite a little fireball, and we miss her very, very much. My message to you is, if you want to deal with your pain your way, don't let anyone tell you not to deal with it that way. Because yes, it's sometimes very hard for me to go through this stuff, especially when it's those times of the year, but it also makes me smile because it reminds me of her. It reminds me of the person that she was. When I see the clothes that she used to wear and it's got dirt on it, and I remember how she was. You know, I remember the little fireball that used to run around and dance in the yard and sing at the top of her voice. I remember that little girl, not only the little one that was lying dead in my arms, you know. So you need to deal with it the way that you need to deal with it, and not let anyone tell you not to deal with it the way that you need to. Your own psyche will tell you how it needs, you know, what it needs for you to do to get through it. You know, you need to trust yourself in that, and not just don't trust other people in that, because they don't know you the way you know you. So just deal with it the way you need to. And if you need any advice or you just want to chat, you're welcome to leave a comment at the bottom. I have no problem in chatting to you. If you want to email me, my email address is in the description block below under business inquiries. If you want to just chat to me, I don't mind at all giving you any advice or trying to help you in any way, because I know this is a hard time. When it happened to us, our friends disappeared, and I think it's because they didn't quite know what to do with us. And if you are out there and you're listening to this and you have someone that has lost someone, don't disappear on them because you don't know how to deal with them, because they don't need you to do anything for them except be there. They need you to be their sounding board. So if they need to scream, cry, shout, be angry, go through all the different stages of grief, all they need you to do is sit there and listen. They don't even need you to open your mouth, because whatever you say is not going to make it any better. And telling someone, and you know, I'm a Christian and I love the Lord very much, and I believe that she's in heaven, and I do believe that it's a better place for her. But telling me that when my child has just passed away, that this is God's will, or that she's better up there, it doesn't help me at all. It actually infuriates me. So don't try and not say all those typical things that you would usually say to someone because you don't know what to say to them. Just tell them that you're really sorry that this happened, and that you are there for them to scream and shout, and just be there for them to be able to work through this on their own terms. And don't tell them what to do. Like, don't tell people how to get over it, because you have never gone through it. So, and even if you did, people deal with it differently. Like, I would never tell someone how to get over it, because I know that I didn't deal with it the way that other people would have. So that is my story. That is what I think I've been waffling on now for quite some time. All of my social media will be in the description block below, and you can go and check out my blog there as well. There are a few stories on my blog. I think I will link the actual different stories in the description block for you as well, where I talk about Alexis and also my story, if you are interested to go and read that. And I also put a lot of other things on there. I know people have said to me I need to write a book about this. I will get to it. I'm just writing a series at the moment. It's a fiction series, so when I'm done with that, then I'll write this book. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, or that it helped you, and if it did, can you please give it a thumbs up? I would appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed already, can you please click the subscription block, and if you click the little bell notification, you'll be informed when I upload a video again. And I hope that you have a lovely day further. Enjoy your moments. Goodbye.